this is a video to let, this is Gail Schuler, and I just wanted to, I'm getting so much Jesuit interference with this video. I just wanted to let you all know that my son, Erich Schuler, was rescued by Brianna Jenkins Schuler. She's a beautiful young lady, and you can see her picture at Gabrielle Chana, GabrielleChana.com/biography.html. That's my website on the Brent Spiner's True Love page. You can also see her on the, excuse me, on the writings page. That's where you can see her, on our writings page. GabrielleChana.com/portfolio, portfolio.html, portfolio. What happened was Brianna was thoughtful, and we could tell she was thinking about what to do, and I suggested that she go in and marry my son to rescue her from Rule 13, though I didn't want her harmed. But I just had this gut feeling that she's the woman that needed to do it. And Terrance said he would present the idea to her and let her decide what she would do, and he said she was real quiet. And one of the reasons I chose her is because she and my son had already had a long-distance relationship where they were communicating with each other through email and other ways. And from what I understood, there was already something going between them already, and they really liked each other. And I know her because I've had dealings with her, and she seems like an outstanding young lady, and she has genius intelligence. And she also has my King David genes, and my son has King David genes, so they would understand. They'd have an instant communion for that reason right there. So she got real quiet, and then Terrance called me on Skype. That's her father, and he said she just boarded a supersonic jet, and she was headed somewhere, and he didn't know where. And then we found out that she was headed over to Erich, and Terrance, and she's our daughter, Terrance and I's daughter. So she's like, I'm the mother to my son. I'm also the mother to Brianna Jenkins Schuler, though she was conceived not through sexual intercourse, but the Jesuits created her using Rule 13 with stolen semen and eggs. But she's genetically my child and Terrance Jenkins' child. She's a beautiful young lady. Anyway, she took a supersonic jet over to the Atlanta area where my son was at. She put her hand out on the taser shield, and she was able to get in because her intentions were to have sex with my son. That was the only way to get in there. The Jesuits programmed the taser shield that the only way you could get in was you had to want to have sex with my son. My son was a virgin. He'd never had sex with anybody. And so she went in there, and when Rule 13 immediately opposed her and tried to get my son turned on sexually immediately. She started, Rule 13, took off her clothes and showed her breast to my son. And then my son got an erection, and I started praying very hard. I said, Lord, don't let Rule 13 win with my son. Rule 13 wanted to take my son's semen so that the Jesuits could study it, so that they could find a way to destroy the Catherine the Great and King David genetic profile in myself. See, that's one of their biggest problems, is my genetic profile is very powerful, and they haven't been able to control me, so they wanted to find a way to destroy me, with my genetic profile by stealing my son's semen. And that was what Rule 13's job was on this date. And she's a Japanese-looking girl, so my son's fascinated with all things Japanese, so that's why he got tricked into going out on a date with her. To make a long story short, Brianna she got in a tussle with Rule 13, and they started pulling each other's hair. Rule 13 ripped off Brianna's clothing, and then Brianna ripped off Rule 13's clothing, and they were both naked and fighting each other on the floor and getting all groveling and getting all over each other, and the fighting got really vicious. And my son actually ejaculated from something, I don't know. The tension in the air was so strong. And they were both fighting to be the first one to get onto my son. My son was a virgin. And it just got really fierce. And then finally, Brianna won. And she used her special powers, which she probably got from Rule 13, because Rule 13 has special powers. And she shot a bolt at something like a lightning bolt at Rule 13. And then Rule 13 just disappeared. And then Brianna got on top of my son and consummated a sexual relationship with him, and she was the first woman that he's ever had sex with. And he's officially off the market. And from what I understand, they had a very exciting sexual encounter. It was absolutely thrilling, full of passion and desire. And while it was happening, I was praying really hard to Jesus that Rule 13 would be destroyed because she's such an evil woman. Then the shield, the taser shield that blocked us from going in there to warn my son about the fact that he was dating an evil Jesuit, just exploded into splinters, and then the explosion turned into confetti and fireworks. It was like Jesus broke the shield and was celebrating the wedding of my son to Brianna Jenkins Schuler. And Rule 13 disappeared, and we don't know where she went. But this is another video. I had to delete a previous video because I used some recording on there, and the Jesuits were able to use the recording to track Terrance and Brent, and they were shooting rockets at them. So I have to make another video. So anyways, I may type a transcript of what happened and put it up at my website because I recorded it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, or I might put an actual tape recording up. I'll have to consult with Brent and Terrance and make sure it's okay that the Jesuits can't use it to harm them. But my son is officially off the market. And even though my son had, I'm the mother of both my son and Brianna. They have different fathers. And we've already done a study of their genes, and there's not going to be any problem with the two genes, gene pools there. Their genes are different enough that it's not going to be a problem. Besides, Abraham's wife was his half-sister, so it looks like the Lord endorsed this coming together because the taser shield exploded into confetti and fireworks, and then we were able to get in there and do a complete rescue. My son was tricked. He didn't realize he was going out with a Jesuit, but it looks like Brianna Jenkins Schuler won. And they had a thrilling sexual consummation, and from what I understand, they're still on their honeymoon. And go to my website, GabrielleChana.com, and all of you girls who responded to my earlier video, thank you, but it looks like my son is taken now.